Yeah, just gives you a lot. Plays really fast. And a Goldie Underlord. All right, so we will have, what is that? A nothing say Underlord? Or?
Prepare for battle.
Yeah, you've got a couple of options, and that's why I do prefer this draft from LGD for game 2. I still feel like BetBoom has some solid conditions to play with. And the main thing for BetBoom is really their mid matchup. How much can GPK really get done up against a Storm? I think Nothing Say should be able to manage that lane a lot better. But again, as a Primal Beast, you do have some openings. Your level 3 spike is pretty decent. You can always threaten with Trample if the Storm's trying to go up to the wave. And you've always got the Onslaught to save, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But I feel like for BetBoom, that's where you've got to watch. Because the Underlord's always going to find farm. The Alchemist is going to be just farming anyway. So your play is really just going to be out on GPK, which it was also the case for game 1. But now you're kind of really locked into just having this Primal Beast carry that momentum through for you.
The battle begins.
First blood, everybody.
He sacrificed 4 bounty runes for that, so it's not the worst thing in the world for LGD, especially up against an Alchemist. Yeah, I mean, you deny that Grievous Greed start, you know, not giving as much to Nightfall in the lane matchup. There is a lot of aggression that you can get out here with Zeal. They get the deny off as well for Y. So the reset comes through, no issues here for LGD. You are leaving your bot a little bit exposed, but level 1 Rubik and Underlord, it's not the biggest threat in the world, so you don't mind that too much. And exactly, like you might not even want the kill. You might just want Shiro to have that added move speed, added right click speed, just to have him handle the lane a little bit better. And in this combination of Bloodseeker plus Elder Titan, it's not the most straightforward lane. There's a lot of counterplay you can bring out from BetBoom. Just the burn damage from Firestorm, the attack damage reduction from Fade Bolt can make this a little bit awkward for Shiro. You are relying more on Y to look for these angles to trade with the Spirit. Again, I'm keen to see if Y will try to go for the Teleporter. Go for the Twin Gate and get the max charges. Not an emphasis right now. Like, you can't leave Shiro alone for the most part in this lane. It's just able to really farm up, and this combination with a Coddle down line, Chakra on overwhelming odds, it's a pretty good way to just sustain and apply constant harassment to an opposing melee hero. So I do like this combination coming out. I think it can be pretty scary to go into for Nightfall. The magical damage can be overwhelming. can see how much you can get. You're also having a really good start for Say again for GPK. It's not a very easy lane. It's playable to an extent, but certainly much more playable for the Storm. And I don't see any sign of relief coming out soon either. It's not like you can leave these side lanes to contest a 4-minute rune. And if you do, you leave yourself susceptible to, again, just getting run down in either side lane anyway. Kind of playing tag, but again, LGD has this option, so...
You blew it!
That's the timing we're looking for. Again, emphasis on mid for these rune refills. And you just can't abandon your side lanes on BetBoom, so LGD just get the immediate advantage. Nothing to say it's having a free ride into his level 6. And there's not much a problem Beast can do once that 6 is achieved. GPK still has room to grab 1 rune at the least, but with an already topped up bottle, I'm sure you're denying it from Nothing to Say, but you're not really getting value from it as well, outside of maybe a quick burst heal if things get rough here. Yeah, you can kind of leave your Kotl mid. You don't have mana on planet to clear out the wave though. But he can soak some very important EXP for the Kotl, hit level 3, maybe go for the 1-1-1, and start to sustain that way. Again, your side lanes here for LGD are strong enough that you can leave them alone. Maybe not the bot. Shiro is a little bit more fragile, but you can certainly leave Zeal up against this Alk lane. And so far it's paying off for the side of LGD. The only lane for BetBoom to really go positive is Resolution's lane, but it is the Underlord lane. That is something you expect. You're just naturally tend to at the very least farm up quite well, and up against melee matchups it feels pretty good. So you're keeping a lid on Sheer. You're getting this ramp up on Resso. Once he has the Vanguard, you're probably not going to get any play out on him, and now they've got room for a mid rotation.
Where's the party? No whining now. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Pulverize would have made all the difference in the world. Missing out on that kill, bleeding out once more to Nothing to Say. Very strong start for a Storm. Have some room to be aggressive and poking and prodding onto Nightfall, making this out pretty uncomfy in lane. He can still recover, but this is not the kind of start you wanted for the Alk. We expected more aggression coming out with the CM. And LC is pretty hard to shove away though. And LGD kind of working their lanes a lot better here in game number 2 for sure. And only really hurting on Shiro's lane, but not too bad. I mean, you're still above a couple of the chorus on the side of BetBoom anyway, despite a lot more back and forth. Still manageable for the Bloodseeker for the most part. At least you're getting things tricky. I have no friends. Haha. See? That's a good thing. Ah. Hey, at least you get to watch some sick games. Nothing to say.
Oh! Whoa, what'd I miss?
Not even a contest.
That's big. And again, the emphasis is on mid just to stop nothing to say, because this Storm can get pretty free if left unchecked, which unfortunately backfires for BetBoom. I've got nothing to say tied in with Nightfall's farm right now. Already has a Falcon Blade up into his power treads. And this Storm is going to feel really good with Coddle backing him up. Like, you've got the value point in Chakra level 1, not the biggest in the world. Still pretty impactful for the Storm to have. And again, with all that emphasis mid, your side lanes are freed up. You're allowing farm to go on to Shiro. You are buying some space, but it is an Underlord and an Alk getting some space. Nightfall's just trying to rush into the Radiance, which will help massively. They've got a smoke play down south. Lot of gold.
Radiant Courier just got turned into a fine mist. Seems Radiant doesn't care about their middle tower.
Yeah. Let's head back, keep the farm game going. Second duel win for Zeal very early on. He's feeling great. He's feeling extra durable with the armlet. Inside of BetBoom, you're seeing some issues with the matchups, right? Like, Storm is a pretty good answer to Primal Beast. Sure, he can be annoying with the Onslaught, and that's your key timing, just Onslaught on top. Try to trample him down, but at the same time, Storm has some pretty spammable slows on you, so when you trample, you're actually not moving as much. That cuts your DPS by a huge amount for GPK. It's gonna need something like a BKB just to have that impact. Maybe just always force the duel onto him. Buy some space for everyone else to kind of do what they want to do in the middle of these engagements. LGD, 5-3, not the biggest net worth lead, but that should ramp up as they start clearing out these insane stacks mentioned here. Efficient. They stack one more time on the Ancients. Nothing to say. He's going to have a very quick timing on his Kaya Sanj. At least once the Kaya is up, that feels really good on the Storm Spirit to just zip around, do a little bit more damage coming out there. For BetBoom, again, it's all about stall. It's all about space for Nightfall. He hasn't been pressured. He's been left alone for the most part up top. His Radiance timing still looks to be on point. So the Flash Farm can really kick in at that point forward. And it's just going to be down to how well LGD can manage the Alk. Because we've seen these kinds of games before, Ricky, here in the group stages where you have this overwhelming start, but you leave the Alk alone and jump forward.
Dominating.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower wins no prizes for longevity.
Kill territory here.
Blow the man down!
Big smile on your big dumb face. Oh, this is a mega kill.
Ooh.
Being told I'm supposed to say ownage right now. I don't like it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire have fortified their structures. They're attacking Dire's middle tower.
Zeal's off to a running start. He's gonna have his,
Dyer's
I
middle
believe his
tower
blink
is under
flying out
attack.
now, so he has easier initiation angles. They're clearing out mid with no
Dyer's
contestation
middle
from the
tower
side of
will barely
BetBoom.
be remembered.
Again, for BetBoom, it was contingent all on GPK down mid. And it's just not an easy lane for the Primal Beast into that Storm. It's just a lot easier for the Storm to cut off your tramples, to kind of stop you from maximizing your onslaught. Let's start clearing out the Ancients now.
Is under attack.
Good amount of farm, again, pouring into it. Interesting smoke from BetBoom down south. It's only Zeal here, but that would still be a big kill if they manage to clip him down.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, he spots it.
Radiant's bottom tower isn't much of a tower anymore. They're attacking Dyer's middle tower.
Yeah, just save for the Elk. Right, like, Nightfall is still having a lot of space done. His Radiance is up, his farm pace kicks in.
Are Dire
It's
going to let their
LGD's turn
middle
with the smoke,
tower
though. And they still have duel here.
Dyer's courier has been killed. Couldn't there anyway.
That's a double kill.
You are popped!
They are just constant with the aggression coming out from LGD. Again, this draft just goes so fast in comparison to what BetBoom wants to do with his kind of slower start. They've got to fall back, keep that build-up. Resolution isn't at the point where he can just tank for his team either. Like, the pipe is still a ways off. Crimson Guard a ways off as well. So you don't have your defensive items up. Your Rubik and your CM can play fast, but your Primal Beast just isn't set up to just run in and cop all the spells. Not until the BKB's up. Which is, again, still 2 components away here for GPK. He is the bottom network core, which is not a great feeling for the Primal Beast. I mean, this hero doesn't need too much farm, but it needs some farm. And he doesn't have the room, he doesn't have the kills to ramp up. It's all in on Nightfall. His BKB blink timing, it might be enough. Maybe if they find the right angle. It's like, if you're not dueled down by Zeal, then perhaps. Woohoo! Oh.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Mega kill.
Over here now.
BetBoom are in a ton of trouble. Planet, with just all the sustain he's bringing out with Spirit Form, the blinding light to kind of kite this Alchemist around, buys them enough room to find those openings. Save does manage to steal the ball lightning once more, but oh, he bails out this time. Yeah, it's good enough. It's still not gonna cut off nothing to say too badly. Again, he's got the mana battery and chakra right now. He's got his full Witchblade coming out. So he's got the Kai Sanj and Witch and Falcon Blade, which it's just such a strong timing for the Storm. Like, having all these small pickups into the BKB, you don't have a straightforward solution to just catch him out. Your instant control isn't there unless you maybe find an angle for Toronto Tokyo to start with Frostbite, or you get the follow through from the Pulverize, which has been really hard to do. GPK can run forward relatively fast, but no one's there to back him up when he does commit.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah. It's going to be really difficult to lock in the Bloodseeker. And we haven't even seen Shearer all too much in these fights as they zip. They get the Arcane Rune. That's a bigger one for Nothing Safe to secure. Would have been nice to have the Rubik steal that, but, you know, just a little bit too far out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Finders keepers.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Yeah, it's a direct mirror of the last match. It's LGD crushing, it's LGD shutting down this area. Perhaps with a pipe you feel a little bit more confident in your durability? They don't want to give openings on LGD. They understand. They need a win here to just have an easier ride up. You know, a draw keeps BetBoom alive. A draw also helps LGD have a good shot of staying in the top 4. A 2-0 would kind of blow that open, and BetBoom suddenly has a lot more of a chance in some further tiebreakers there as well for higher positions. So, you know, you don't want to give that out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I've been wanting this.
That's what they needed. They get 2 big core kills. They sacrificed their offlane and their Rubik support for that, but it's worthwhile. You get some really good activity coming out here from Nightfall. He doesn't even have to pop his BKB there, just has the opening. And the big difference maker was Toronto Tokyo with that really strong position on the CM. Like just having that full frozen field on top of all these heroes heavily clumped up with a counter control coming out with the Pit of Malice still running from Resolution. It does a lot. And LGD have to respect that. They have to watch that team. Toronto Tokyo has been on point, even in the last game. Like his positioning for that freezing field has been magnificent for the most part. And the investment in Yalk is starting to pay off. Yeah, I like that change. That's one thing that I still overall don't know how I feel about the BKB changes, but I do like that, you know, spellcasters aren't completely useless when BKBs are up. You can still do something. So it's an interesting change, I think. From the side of LGD, you do have more protection now on LGD though. Full BKB for Nothing Says flying out. So you shouldn't be stuck in as awkward of a position here in the middle of these engagements. And you are still 8k behind for BetBoom. So they need to kind of pull that out of their hats once more as they jump in. They instantly smoke. Oh. Can misses. And they've got the chance to go Roche. I mean, this time they managed to get the silence off onto Toronto Tokyo, prevent that freezing field from really being impactful. They managed to pin down the Prime Beast early on as well, so when they come in, they don't have to worry too much about its mobility coming through there. And with a Roshan take for LGD, I mean, the Watcher's going your side, the secondary life for Nothing Say. It's going to be massive if they want to prioritize in here. But it does look like they'll just hand it over to Shiro, and he won't pick it up.
If you ask me.
But they managed to get the punishment. This time, the angle from BetBoom not as clean, not as sneaky for Toronto Tokyo. Which, it's so weird to say, but that freezing field is a large part of your team fights right now. Like, this CM is actually pretty high priority in setting up. Like, the slows, the damage, it provides a lot. And it's probably your only real team fight spell if you think about the lineup of BetBoom as well. Like, freezing field is your one big team fight on top of, like, say, Pit of Malice. That's your two really big AoE controls, and well, if one doesn't get channeled fully, then the other one is a little bit more manageable for the side of LGD.
I think they're actually
yeah, that's fair enough. Like, it's not a good angle in. Rubik is, again, another big part of control. Like, your supports are just so important right now for BetBoom. And finagle their way into these fights. He's going for the farm, though. Ooh.
Dire's bottom tower isn't long for this world.
LGD, they do respect the amount of heroes BetBoom has. They will back off. Don't pressure too hard. And BetBoom should be able to find the Tormentor. I think a sneakier play would be punishing them while the Tormentor's happening. You know, they're going to be softened up a fair bit, but I'm not going to do that. Just allow that to be taken by BetBoom. And if it's our CM shard once more, that is pretty big. And Toronto Tokyo will take it. So that is huge. Again, the impact of that freezing field cannot be understated. So all he needs to do is find that good position now to channel that spell. And they can still turn these fights. LGD, though, is still in a strong position, 11k up. Nightfall is still number 1 in that fort, though. And he is inching towards his full AC. Mitigating a lot of the output, along with the auras coming out there from Resolution. So you've gotten a lot of good answers for the physical output right now of LGD.
Your warning. Here I am.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Not much stopping them as they'll go for that tier 2 mid. No defense coming out from inside of BetBoom, just trying to shove what they can and get an angle out of that area. Inside of LGD, still in control. I mean, they've still got 2 minutes left on that Aegis for Shiro. Not too much to be scared of. They won't push the limits too much. They are just mass TPing up top. I think they've got an idea. Yeah, they want to punish. Perhaps with a gate.
Regeneration. Here I am. Touché.
Radiant's bottom tower isn't looking good.
It's risky. It does feel necessary right now for BetBoom. There's more damage mitigation, more damage amp for you as well. And yeah, they buy out. No buyback on him. If they manage to catch that Alk in maybe the next minute, we'll be able to punish.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
No, it's a taunt, so tier. I don't know if that counts for either one. I think it might count as a silence. A taunt might count as a silence in a way. It depends on how it's coded, so yeah, I want to see. Yeah, free 30 damage is pretty nuts. Rezo. That would be pretty busted. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was somehow coded that way. I do not think so, but again, pretty hilarious if it is. Like, every LC will just gun for this, and then you're suddenly a very busted hero. Zeal? What are you doing?
Dyer's
Shear's not there either. Doesn't want to join in, so a big win for BetBoom. Looks like they should be able to, just running back and farming. So someone should be able to take note of that. Nightfall will give the vision, and they ping it out. Alright. Big win. Just a bit too aggressive there on the side of LGD. A little bit too far forward of a jump here, coming out from nothing to say. I did watch her LT as well. I do not believe he got the plus damage or the armor. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunate. Would have been, I mean, it's kind of busted if he did. So I guess it makes sense, but it would be funny.
Here I am.
This will do nicely.
20 armor is just insane. That is a lot of EHP. It's I think once people realize how busted it is, it should be interesting when it does get nerfed down, but it's a lot. So yeah, it's, I mean, it's more than a plate mail. So that alone is like a lot of value. Yeah, it's insane value. I think he's going to be feeling himself. Unfortunately, the shield is expiring. Not going to be as durable up front, but this could be the difference maker.
There it goes. I've been wanting this.
The Lotus Orb. Oh, that was just beautiful initiation coming out from LGD. Nothing to say, just rushing up. And they just broke off. BetBoom just split apart right before that fight. They let go of the control on that twin gate. And then they're just too far apart to kind of follow through. They managed to interrupt this duel. You don't get the win for Zeal, but they had the damage. They have this full basher up and running on Shiro. You can just run down any heroes. They'll go onto the high ground. No cares in the world. BetBoom, no buybacks, a longer respawn on your out. These objectives just melt.
Dire's middle barracks have fallen. Dire just fortified their structure.
Yeah? It's just... And now they could lose this Roche on top. If they'll smoke out, BetBoom knows this objective is being taken. And they've got Nightfall back. Oh.
Take out Gazelle.
Clean up really well. Super awkward again. They found the right angle here in BetBoom to catch out and instantly keep Zeal in control. They managed to really get this good position out as well for Nightfall to do his damage on the out, but it's just not enough. The counter control is in, freezing field gets cancelled, a lot of routine fight disappears, and the Aegis still goes the way of LGD. They've got that safety net for Shiro. They've got the cheese on hand now as well for a quick top up if need be, as they keep chasing for more GPK. Out, but there's nothing here to stop inside of LGD anymore. They've got everything they need.
Dire's top barracks have fallen. You know what they say about a team that loses its barracks?
They just need to clear that bot tier 2 for the full Megas. Full Abyssal. Pretty much set for Shiro to fly out here. He's got even more control coming through in the middle of these fights. And he has his Shard. And the Shard is pretty good into the Alk, into the Underlord, into the Primal Beast. Pretty high strength scaling heroes, or relatively high strength heroes at the least. So your damage can scale. Shiva's Guard finished up now as well for nothing to say. I mean, for BetBoom, again, there's an angle into these fights. If you do manage to prevent Zeal from getting a good dual lockdown, and you can find the follow-through fight, allow Nightfall to just get work done on the Alk, can come out really well. Why did Zeal deny the bounties? And they still have two of their own. Is he gonna deny them? Okay, no, he picks them up this time. All right. Okay, that makes more sense.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, that's a big win for them. That keeps them